Blackstone presents How and How Not to Be Happy by J. Budziszewski. This book is read by L.J. Ganser. To Sandra, she openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. Preface. Man's mind seeks to recover its proper good, but like a drunken man, knows not by what path to return home. This little book is about a very large topic, human happiness. Why write about it at all? Not for a moment do I think we are ignorant about this subject, though I do think we are confused about a great deal of what we half know about it. The purpose of this book might be described as deconfusing some of our inherited semi-knowledge. If you are the sort of person who likes to cut right to the chase, you may want to skip right now to Part 2. Because this preface and the first few chapters aren't about happiness itself. They are about preliminaries like why happiness needs to be studied, how to study it, and why I've written this book the way I have. After all, if you start wondering about those questions later on, you can always backtrack. People like me, though, who are always asking, why did you conduct your investigation that way instead of this way, will prefer not to skip anything and listen straight through. It's up to you. A great deal of what has been written on the topic of happiness amounts to stating its necessary conditions, things the absence of which will make you unhappy. It seems to me that these necessary conditions are pretty obvious. The interesting thing is the sufficient conditions of happiness, things the presence of which will make you happy. Are there any things like that? For example, I know that if I have no friends, I will be unhappy. But does having friends guarantee that I will be happy? I am not trying to prove anything, if by proof we mean something that will convince any sane person as a matter of sheer logic. The sorts of arguments that I make are what philosophers call probable. In other words, I try to give good reasons for accepting my conclusions, the best reasons I know of, usually appealing to other things we already accept. The book is succinct. Some might say terse. I can treat large matters fairly quickly because a very long tradition of probable arguments lies in the background, allowing me to ride piggyback on other thinkers. The book isn't as terse as what I consider to be the greatest of all treatments of the subject, the Treatise on Happiness and Ultimate Purpose, written by Thomas Aquinas in the late 13th century. His treatise, a single section of a much...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?